Good day everyone. Welcome to another discussion about our immune system. Today, we are going to study a journal article written by Burns and Goodwin. It is about the effects of aging on immune function. It was published in the Journal of Nutrition's Health and Aging Volume 7 on 2003. To begin, we're going to go over what the immune system does. So the immune system is our body's defense system against infections and diseases. It regulates wound healing and it separates the inner self from organisms on the outside that could be trying to compete for space or resources. It is composed of a variety of cell population. Most are circulating but others are tissue fixed, which are capable of producing a number of different molecules or cytokines. It is capable of mounting non-specific or innate responses and specific or adaptive responses, in which the adaptive responses are often classified as cellular or humoral. Here is a list of some of the immune system cells. We have our T lymphocytes, which originate in the thymus gland and are responsible for cell-mediated immunity, which is an immune response that does not involve antibodies. Then, we have our B lymphocytes, which secrete antibodies and are found in the thymus and the bone marrow. Then, we have our monocytes, or the polymorphonuclear neutrophil leukocytes, which are responsible for nonspecific immunity, which is a general defense against all antigens. It uses natural killer cells and phagocytes to dispose of the antigens or foreign materials in the body. Natural killer cells are also used to prevent tumor growth and to fight viral infections and parasites. And lastly, immunoglobulins are specialized antibodies. Some examples are IgM, which is a first responder immunoglobulin. Then the next is IgE, which helps with allergies and asthma, and IgG, which helps fight hepatitis. How does the immune system work? The immune system is activated when a foreign particle or antigen enters the body. It recognizes this antigen and the antigen will be attached to immune system cells. Then the specific type of immune system cell will dispose of this antigen. Furthermore, the immune system can store the information about this specific antigen for the future in order to get rid of it faster in the next time it infects the body. So this is a more in-depth picture of how the B cells and T cells contribute to destroying the antigen. First, the antigen will match the antigen will match receptor on the B cell and it will be activated by a T helper cell or the helper T cell, which causes the B cells to divide into two, which is the plasma cell and the memory cells. Plasma cells produce antibodies to attach to the antigen, which triggers an ether cell that will dispose of it. The memory cell remembers that antigen if it attaches again to the B cells and can destroy it much quicker. So aging and defects on immune system is very hard to study since there are many factors that affect the immune system. It is hard to determine if the changes are caused by our body getting older or if they're caused by lifestyle or environmental factors like diet, stress, exercise, and diseases. So it is hard to determine what factor is causing the changes in the immune system. Also, since aging is relatively a new study, researchers are only beginning to understand how aging can affect the immune system and how that will affect the body and its other systems. Now, let us talk about what happens to our immune system when you age. As you age, your risk factor goes up dramatically for viral and bacterial infections. And the reason why is that the microbiome changes, which is the term to describe collectively all the microbes living in your body. They're there to make up a great majority of your immune system, and they do uh, a lot of other things too, like making vitamins. But I want to focus on the immune factor. So as you age, the microbes are the microbes age as well. You get less diversity. You have more pathogenic bacteria. So we get this ratio of more pathogens and less friendly bacteria, and that makes you more susceptible to getting infections. Also, if you don't have the diversity of microbes, you're not going to make the quantity of butyrate, and butyrate is involved in helping someone with insulin resistance and their blood sugars. And it also has a connection into supporting a healthy immune system. On the flip side, a baby who's getting breast milk is getting a tremendous amount of good bacteria in the breast milk, not to mention immune factors, antimicrobials colostrum, which is building his or her immune system. It's very important as you age to maintain your gut flora and even take a very high quality probiotics. Now, the second thing to know is that babies and children have a huge thymus gland. The thymus gland is not the thyroid. The thyroid is the front part of the neck, while the thymus is a little bit lower right underneath your sternum, right on the top of the heart. The thymus is the key lymph gland having to do with the training camp for your white blood cells. They're also a reservoir for a lot of your immune cells. Now, if a major infection happens, your body will recruit a lot of these T cells, T standing for thymus, to be able to put those into the battle to fight off the microbe. Now, the problem is when you get older, your thymus shrinks. It shrinks down to nothing. So you really lose the ability to make not just the T cells but the B cells too. And B cells make the antibody, so the less antibodies you have for different things, the less defense you're gonna have against certain microbes. Thus, it is really important to take enough zinc to support the thyroid, because if you're zinc deficient, which a lot of people are, you will also have atrophy of the thymus gland. I think it would be very beneficial as you age to not only make sure you're taking enough zinc and also to take a thymus extract. I think that that would be a really good thing to support if someone is getting older and more fragile and they wanted to boost the immune system. Also, as a person ages, they're also taking more medications. The one that really destroys the microbiome is the antibiotics. But also the PPIs, the antacids, and the medications that deal with the acid reflux, GERD, indigestion, heartburn, and things like that. And metformin interferes with your gut bacteria. That's which is used for diabetes type 2. Also, SSRIs, that's a medication for anxiety or depression, has big negative impact on your microbiome. Laxatives and corticosteroids like uh, prednisone really affects the microbiome as well. So the less microbiome you have, the less immune system that you have. And lastly, as you age, you have a much more difficult time absorbing vitamin D. So vitamin D is one of the most important, what's called immune modulators, which controls an overactive immune system, and I'm talking about the inflammatory responses and about hypersensitivities, asthma, allergies, and especially autoimmune problems, as well as the condition called the cytokine storm, which is a flurry of immune reactions that can occur in your lung and that can actually kill you. So vitamin D is a really good call. It is a really good call me action on a hyperreactive immune system. And one of the problems when you get an infection from a virus, for example, is that the virus has the sneaky little strategy of blocking the receptors inside the cell for uh, the vitamin D and knocking out your ability to use it. You're gonna have to take a lot more vitamin D to counter the effect because the receptors for vitamin D, called the vitamin D receptors, is downgraded with certain viruses and certain bacterial infections as well. So they are really too there's really too many main things you want to support as you get older. First, the microbiome, your friendly bacteria, and the thymus gland. As I've said earlier, thymus shrinks as we get older, and this results in the decrease in B cells and T cell functioning, and its production of naive or new B and T cells will also decrease. There is also an impaired response to vaccines, so the severity of viral infections like influenza, RSV, shingles, pneumococcal diseases are much higher than in younger adults. Vaccines fail to induce long-term protection against these diseases, so older adults have a higher chance of contracting them and can also suffer more long-term complications after contracting the disease. Older adults have a higher susceptibility to infections, cancer, and diseases. One example being HIV and AIDS, Contracting this disease uh, in late life result in a significantly shorter lifespan and higher mortality rates. It can also result in other diseases such as chronic inflammation. As we age, the immune system also takes longer to build up defenses to specific diseases. There is increase of autoimmunity, which will be discussed on the next slide. The lymph nodes are restructured as we age also, which can alter the development of the immune responses. So, autoimmunity is a result of an imbalance between B and T cells. It is when the immune system begins attacking its own cells and can result in several disorders like rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, and peripheral neuropathy, Crohn's diseases, leukemia, and multiple sclerosis, to name a few. So, in conclusion, we have learned that there are a variety of changes observed in the immune system which with increasing age, and functions of different organs and cells involved in immune responses also declines. And also, in relation to my topic last time, it was also found in this journal that nutritional factors play a role in age-related declines in immunity. Thus, it is very important for us to have a healthy diet which can help maintain not only our physical outlook but also the health of our gut, which has an important role in our immune response. And therefore, uh, before we end, I would like to share a short passage from the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 4. It says, "Even to your old age and gray hairs, I am He who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you." This verse reminds us that even though we are becoming weak because of old age, God is always by our side to sustain, help, carry, and rescue us anytime. Thank you for listening, and may God bless us all.